Welcome guys and girls to Sow and Grow Revolution. I'm John. The other Sow and Grow members are George and Joe. George is actually filming at the moment. The reason we've done this video today is for a very specific reason. Here at Sow and Grow Revolution, which has kind of been in conception for the past half a year, we've been looking at ways that we can really make a difference to the changing world that we live in. And one of these ways is we feel that actually in order to bring back health to the land, to ourselves and to the environment in general, we need to take that power back into our own hands. And a way we can do this is to localise communities. Now everyone has their own different way of actually achieving this, and there's some great people all over the world that are doing some amazing things. I myself have been inspired by a few people like Matt Powers, Chris Trump, Dr. Elaining, and I mean the list goes on and on. I've been looking at these guys for the last year or so, and they've revolutionised my life, and this is the reason I decided to kind of take on my own responsibility and try and find a way that we can actually change the world that we live in.
They're very inspirational, these people, to us, haven't
They
they?
are indeed, George. And what these people have taught me is that actually some of the most amazing solutions are the simplest solutions. So here at Sow and Grow Revolution, what we've decided to do and taking the responsibility for ourselves is to attempt to reconnect people with the land, with their ancestors, with their heritage, with their health. All these things are important. And if we want to adapt to the changing world that we live in the next few years and generations to come, really the only thing that we can do is take power back to the local community. So our personal and specific idea is, well, I thought to myself, how can we really do this? You know, what is the most fundamental and important aspect of growing healthy, nutritionally dense, abundant, pest-resistant, disease-resistant food?
We've been bouncing ideas about this for quite a while now.
George, and, you know, we've been through a lot of trials and tribulations, all personally and together. But the most important thing is, you know, what they call in many different ancient ways, and you know, you explain this today, is our chi. There's this power within us that wants to actually make that change. So we've decided that the way we can do this is to teach people about the importance of soil biology. For the past 60 years, we've had poisoning and toxification of our soils, oxidation of our soils, and this is all done by industrial agriculture.
That's one of the reasons why society is sick.
Exactly, George. And whether this is, you know, livestock farming or horticulture, they're both poisoning the planet. Now, whether you're a vegan, a meat eater, or anything in between, every part of a farm is essential. But it's actually how this farm feeds back into itself. There are many amazing people around the world. One is a guy called Gabe Brown. He owns 5,000 acres in North Dakota. And for the past 10, 15 years, what he's been doing is using methods that don't require any artificial fertilizers. Now, many of you think, well, how do we get rid of pests? If you look at a forest, a natural forest, it's in perfect balance, perfect synchronicity, perfect harmony. But if you look closer, what you see is a cycle of life and death. And many people in the Western world have a problem with death, but it's around us everywhere. And a decomposition of dying matter is the reason that life exists. Without death, you cannot have life. You cannot have these polarities. You can't have dark without light. You can't have night without day, because there's no comparison. And this is the thing we're focusing on. You know, there's a lot of talk in many different industries about everything is built on strong foundations. So if we want to take this forward and apply this to the most essential element or essential substrate on a planet, it can only be soil. Soil is the thing that gives birth to all the plants. The animals eat the plants. The animals defecate and produce manure, which feeds the land. And this feeding of the land adds the nutrition.
Such a symbiotic relationship.
All these symbiotic relationships. And if you want to take this to the human body, there is conclusive evidence to say that the soil biology, the soil biome as they call it, and our gut biome are inextricably linked. There is no disconnection between them. And all the issues that we have in the world today, many chronic health issues, are all caused, or mainly partly caused by the disconnection between healthy soil and a healthy body. If you only spray chemical fertilizers on food, what do you think your body's feeding on? We're not chemicals, we're biology as well as chemistry. The soil needs chemistry as well as biology. Now the chemistry happens, natural chemistry happens when you have good biology in the soil. And this biology ranges everywhere from fungi and bacteria up to squirrels, foxes. They're all part of the cycle. So our idea, or our intention, our project, is to be able to raise some money to create a composting business. Now our composting business will be like no other. We've done a lot of research and we're going to use natural soil amendments to add to the compost. We'll be using various composting methods, and all these are natural. None of it is artificial. We're going to be using many different methods from around the world, natural farming methods, permaculture methods, biodynamic methods, no-dig methods, but they are all based on what our ancestors used to do. For instance, if you go to the Amazon, they're now discovering things called terra preta, and this terra preta is what has allowed the rainforest to be able to create amazingly nutritional food. Now normally a rainforest, because there's so much nutrition in there, although the soil is very sandy, this allows water and nutrients to leach out. But in the Amazon it's something different. They're still able to grow food. So for me, for George and Joe, our passion is about understanding why the soil does what it does and how we can learn from that.
It does essentially the same thing our body does. It breaks down the nutrients.
Exactly, George, exactly. So this is really what it's about, and I'm going to kind of end there, but what I really wanted to the point that we want to try and emphasise is that everyone has the power to grow food. And the thing is, once you start growing your own food and start observing nature, going for walks in a forest or a woodland, you can connect with nature, you know. And really our aim, our purpose is to get the health back into humanity and get the connection we have, get that respect back for the soil, for life, and not to be misled or manipulated to thinking that we're the cause of it. You know, we're all very capable, but big industry, big pharma, big ag, none of them care about human health. None of them care about animal health, because otherwise they wouldn't be spraying these petrochemicals onto the plants, which then leach into the soil, which then leach into the rivers, which then leaches into the oceans. So this is how we can actually adapt to the changing climate. and the uncertainty of the global supply chain. The only way you can secure your future is to invest in your own future, and the way you do that is to bring back the harmony of you and the land and the community. So that's it. We will be doing a couple of other videos, and on our crowdfunding page you'll be able to see links to our different social media, and we'll have videos up on YouTube, etc. So have a look at those, guys, and you know, if you think this is a good idea, like I really believe so, and George and Joe do, then please feel free to donate, and I promise you that it will not just make you feel great, but you'll learn a lot about yourself and the land. Thank you.